talk about the season finale of Mama June. But before I get to that, I want to listen to this audio of Sharon Osbourne, rip Ozzy Osbourne, but they had this podcast called the Osbournes Podcast, and Sharon actually opened up about this time she met Mama June, and she claims that she smelled so freaking bad. But then again, this was back in their Here Comes Honey Boo Boo days, where I think, like, you know, her hygiene was a lot more off compared to more recent days. But let's go ahead and listen to it.
The big mother, yeah.
Honey Boo Boo.
And that, I mean, when I was on the talk and I was interviewing Honey Boo Boo's mother, and she had
Mama June
food stains all over her clothes and stunk like a haddock. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? A haddock?
A haddock?
What am I doing talking to Mrs. Boo Boo? I was like,
it's like, what has my life come to?
I was like, this is like,
I still remember when they came out with one of the new seasons of her show, and it came in at the same time as a magazine that was Scratch and Sniff as you watched Honey Boo Boo, and I felt that was the most disgusting thing ever.
I remember that.
Why would I want to scratch and sniff anything?
Smell of haddock.
Have a scratch and sniff while I'm watching a child, like weird.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird
that woman.
Amen. That is weird.
Was unbelievable. Mama June.
She was doing.
Wait, are we talking about her like she died? Is she alive?
She's still around.
I think she got sober and lost a bunch of weight.
I filmed that show.
Oh, you filmed Honey Boo Boo?
Oh,
Holy
you did?
How was that?
How did the house smell?
Yeah.
Really gross.
She was disgusting. I mean, honestly, like loads of food everywhere on her clothes.
But it's funny because it's.
What about the husband with no teeth?
Sugar bear, yeah.
Didn't he go to prison for like
drugs?
She got in trouble for drugs.
Okay.
Wasn't she shooting up?
Yeah, some kind of crack or something, something bad. Yeah.
Sorry, Dada. Some kind of crack.
So are they all sober now? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Damn, Sharon Osbourne is savage as hell. But now let's talk about this season finale. Overall, I was expecting more from the season finale. Like, out of 1 out of 10, I would give this season finale, like, a 5. I just feel like a lot of what happened was really predictable. It starts off with Josh, and, you know, he just found out that Pumpkin is dating his cousin, which I'll never get over. I just think that is so damn diabolical. And there are rumors that Josh and Darren were, like, close. And I guess they weren't, like, close all their lives, people were saying. But someone was trying to say, oh, yeah, like, right before Pumpkin and Darren got together, Darren started getting really close with Josh and was hanging out with Josh with the intention to get close with Pumpkin. But Josh kind of shut that rumor down because he said, look, I know who Darren is. That's my cousin, but I've never really liked the dude. The only time I see him is when I go to my grandma's for holidays and whatnot. But he's pretty much thought that Darren's a douchebag his whole life. If Josh thought Darren was a douchebag before, well, he definitely thinks he's a douchebag now for getting with his former wife. So Josh was like, I don't want to see my stuff in this house. Everything is just a reminder of freaking June Jr. So he decides to pack all his belongings and leave Pumpkin a little note that says, hey, I know you've been lying to me. I know what's up. And I decided to move all my belongings out the house, and the kids are with my mom. So Pumpkin comes to the house. She's expecting for all the kids to be running up to her, all excited when she walks in the door. But it's quiet. It's too quiet. So Pumpkin knows something's up. She's yelling for Josh. She's yelling for the kids. And she doesn't hear anything. And then she comes across the note. And as soon as she read the note, she's like, damn it, who told Josh? And she claims she hasn't told anyone at this time except her family members, like June and Jessica. And she's like, I know my mom will tell me, as she told me. And June denied it. So she's like, there's only one person left, and it had to be Jessica. Pumpkin went out to eat with her employee and her friend Paisley and told Paisley she thinks Jessica told Josh and was just venting to her. And then June decides to get all this stuff together so she can throw Jessica a bachelorette party because she's now engaged, which I just think this is so stupid because I just saw Jessica doing an interview the other day where she was asked, when do you plan on getting married? And she's like, we have no idea. You know, we're taking it one step at a time. Like, so they don't even know when they're getting married. But here is June already celebrating and doing a bachelorette party, which I'm sure they're going to do once again, once it actually does get closer to the wedding. But do people do this? Do they get engaged and have bachelorette parties a week later? Like, I've never heard of anybody doing it like that. And then we get an update from Alana. And originally, Dralin was looking at a year minimum in prison, and he could have a maximum of 10 years, which I thought, I was like, I don't think they're going to send him to prison over this. They're just probably going to give him some probation, especially since he dropped all this money on a lawyer, or Alana probably dropped all this money on a lawyer. And so they ended up getting him a plea deal, so if he pleads guilty, he will have a felony on his record, but he only has to do 5 years of probation. Which 5 years of probation is still a lot of time, but still I feel like it's appropriate for what he did. And so they decided to do the plea deal and plead guilty. And then we see June pick up Jessica, and she's like, I got a surprise for you, girl. And Jessica's like, I don't like surprises, but she took her to a sidekick because she thinks his sidekick is going to tell her that she does not need to be with Cheyenne. Because June does not like Cheyenne, and if Jessica won't listen to her, she's hoping Jessica will at least listen to his sidekick. But the sidekick did everything but the exact opposite of what June was wanting. The sidekick was like, yeah, Cheyenne's great for you. I think you need to tie this one down. She knows how to communicate. She brings out the best in you. And June just over there side-eyeing with a little pissy face, like probably wishing she could demand a refund at any given second. And the sidekick also is pretty on point talking about Justin. Like, he's very good at communication. He's level-headed, which is all very true, but I also feel like those are all things you could easily figure out by watching the show. Like, if she's watched the show before, I think that psychic reading could have been very easy. But then she also told June that June is gonna go downhill with her health and that she's gonna end up having a heart attack, which is mighty specific. Like, I was thinking at first, like, okay, everything that she's saying is like real broad and, you know, could be open to interpretation so many different ways. But telling her she's going to have a heart attack, that is oddly specific. But honestly, that wouldn't have shocked me because Mama June ate like shit for so many years. And when she was on drugs, she went hard. Like, she admitted that she did over $1 million worth of drugs. But I think it was even more than that. I mean, the woman sold her whole house and said she spent all that money on drugs, and she spent Alana's money on drugs, other kids' money on drugs, her own money. Then we see June, Pumpkin, and Jessica all go out for this bachelorette party. And now, you know, I was saying, why the hell do the bachelorette party now? But now it makes sense because it's production's way of being messy to get Pumpkin and Jessica together so Pumpkin can confront Jessica about telling Josh about Darren. So they go out to eat and they're playing some game. I can't remember exactly what the game was, but like you write something on a piece of paper and somebody like wrote something, or was it when June gave Jessica the thing that said bride? I don't know. But Jessica was holding something up that said something. And all of a sudden Pumpkin was like, you know, it should say snitch. And Jessica was like, what are you talking about? She was really trying to brush it off. And Pumpkin's like, you know what I'm talking about. You told Josh. And she got mad. And Jessica's like, well, you know, just because you're not with Josh anymore doesn't mean I'm just going to suddenly switch up on him. You know what? I kind of agree with Jessica. Because Josh has done so many things for Jessica, just like Pumpkin has. Josh was there when Jessica needed a place to stay. He's helped her in so many ways like Pumpkin. So just because he's no longer dating her sister doesn't mean that she should all of a sudden have to treat him like shit. And it was kind of out of pocket for Jessica to tell Pumpkin's business. You know, it's like, you're my sister, don't be telling my business to my ex unless I tell you it's okay, especially if it's something that nobody else knows. And I kind of feel bad for Jessica, though, because she was put in a position because Josh was either going to look stupid and give the flowers to Pumpkin, and then Pumpkin was going to have no choice but to tell him. In a way, she kind of did Pumpkin a favor because Pumpkin didn't have to tell Josh herself. But again, you know, her loyalty should lie with her sister, where she shouldn't be spilling her sister's secrets like that. I don't know. You guys gotta let me know what you would do if you were in a position like that. I don't think Pumpkin would have told Josh anytime soon. Like, even if Josh did give her flowers, I think she would have just been like, no thank you, and she would have left it at that. It probably would have been a whole nother month or two before she told Josh. Like, I have a feeling she was not going to tell Josh about Darren until she was backed in a corner and forced to, and that's pretty much what Jessica did in this situation before it came out another way. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.